Hi guys, Ben from Snowy's again, today with the Oztent RV2 Canvas Touring Tent. 2 to 3 person tent, better for 2 really, squeezy 3. Weighs about 20 kilos and pack size is a little over 2 meters, 2.05 meters by about 30 centimeters and about 20 centimeters this way. So you'll need a roof rack or a trailer to transport it. I want to show you how to set it up today. First thing I do is show you what comes in the bag. So got it all unpacked. This is the synthetic carry bag that it comes in. It's a heavy duty synthetic, lots of carry handles on it. Got awning poles here. Got a bag of pegs and a couple of extra guy ropes. Instruction manual with some repair fabric inside, and the main tent that's all wrapped up with a strap here. I'll put this gear aside. First thing I do is unroll this and we can pull all the arms out. So as we unroll this tent, there's this little triangular fabric, that's the floor. Whichever way we point that is going to be the front of the tent. So once we've got it unrolled that far, the next thing we need to do is pull these arms out. Now they're labelled A and B. B's always folded in second when you pack it up, so it's the first one we fold out when we set it up. So we fold this arm B out first. We step across and grab arm A. So from here we can see that this is the door of the tent, so we've got it facing this way. I'll step in the middle here and I grab a strap up underneath here that has Oztent written on it. And I can use this to pull the front of the tent up. So as I pull it up, I just make sure it raises evenly. From this point, I've got to keep hold of this until I get inside and lock the poles in place. So just come in here, I'll show you how that works. Now you might just need to push these out a little bit to stretch the floor in each corner. And then on each side, we grab this pole here and we're going to invert it back up this way. We do that on each side. So from here, the tent's now freestanding. One last thing we need to do in here before we go out and put the pegs in is grab this little tab on the wall here, little Velcro tab. We just need to wrap it around the pole. That keeps the wall secure and stops this from inverting accidentally. We do that on each side. So that's the tent in freestanding mode. I'm going to go around and put a peg in each corner, so 4 in total. We do also recommend that when you're using it for longer periods, you set up the guy ropes. There's 4 in total, 1 on each corner here and 1 on each corner at the rear. I'm not going to set them up today though. I'm just going to put the ones in the bottom. Now there is one extra point at the back here. I'm not going to worry about this today, but if I peg that in, it just pulls this wall out a little bit more and increases the internal space. So just one extra peg point you can use. Now that's the main part of the tent set up. We've just got to go around the front and set the awning up now. So just grabbed what I need to set the awning up. I need a couple of pegs. Got my 2 upright poles here. Only get the 2 upright poles with the RV2 and a couple of guy ropes. Now I do need to tie some loops in the end of these guy ropes so that I can hook them over the top of these spigots and peg the awning out. Now the awning comes rolled up like this. It needs to be rolled up like this for setup and or for storage. So the first thing we do is undo these tabs and unroll it. So there's a couple of eyelets in these awnings, one quite close to the tent here and another one right at the end here. So we could set this up as a peaked awning if we like. This works better with the side panel accessories that come with it because you also get a ridge pole with that. For the purpose of just the awning by itself like this, I'm actually just going to put the ridge pole, or the upright poles in the end here, and there is a bit of a stiffener in here to stop this bit flapping around. So I'll put the poles in, guy rope over the top, and that'll be our tent set up. Now I've got those poles roughly in place there. You want to make sure you've got these at enough angle to try and pull this slope or this dip out of the awning here. I've probably not quite got them quite angled out that way enough. There is a 3rd guy rope in the middle here that you could use. You could probably peg that down to create a runoff spot for water if you like. The other option to create runoff for water is to make one side of the awning low like this so the water runs off. I like to have my awnings high so I can walk underneath it, so I'll just stretch these up as far as I can. Tighten these guy ropes, and that's now reasonably stiff in the middle there. That's the RV2 tent set up. Pretty straightforward. They call it a 30-second tent. The main part there is 30 seconds, a little bit longer for this stuff. That was by myself and it was only a few minutes work. Pack up is just as easy. Everything in reverse. I start by pulling the pegs out and taking the awning down. Now I do need to make sure the awning is rolled up before we pack the tent away. It's much easier to get it all back in the bag if this is secured up against the tent. Now, we could take all the pegs out of the base. I like to leave a couple in place in case the wind picks up, because the tent's sitting there freestanding otherwise, so I've left the rear pegs in. All I need to do now is grab my little tab, my Oztent tab at the top here, step inside the tent and undo the Velcro tabs on the walls and reverse the poles so the tent folds back on itself. As you lower this, make sure it lowers evenly, and just check the fabric at the back here and pull it inside the tent as it goes down. It's going to make getting it in the bag a whole lot easier. So I've grabbed my accessories, I've put them down this side of the tent, ready to roll it into the bag. Now, when we fold it up, we roll arm A first, across, and up the top here. Try and keep the fabric nice and flat. Then we grab arm B, fold that up against, or up underneath arm A. We end up with a little triangle of fabric out here that folds over the top. We grab our strap, and then put it back in the bag. And that is how you pack up and set away the Oztent RV2 Canvas Touring Tent. You can grab these at snowies.com.au at lowest prices every day with free delivery to pretty much anywhere in Australia. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.